Hi, welcome back to another weekly conversation. This week, all you need to know about translation agencies, the good ones, the bad ones, and how to protect yourself from the bad ones. So stick around. Although a lot of agencies may have a bad reputation, the reality is not all of them are bad, and in fact, you can work for an agency for a very long time and develop a very good and positive working relationship. So I think the secret is having a balanced approach to it and obviously an open mind. For example, when you start your career, if you find a decent agency to work with that give you volume of work, that may be a positive, since it not only gives you that volume of work that will translate into income for you, but it also translates into working experience that will enable you to progress in your career. So that's a plus. Even for translators that may be working for a long time, working with an agency also may be positive because they could also have that volume of work and also that relationship and that client that is always there for them and that continuity of work, let's say. So when you hear about translation agencies, don't think that everything is bad. But unfortunately, the bad ones are there, and sometimes these are the ones that come out first. Unfortunately, one of the things that the bad ones or the translation agencies that may be less professional or ethical in our industry, what they do is, first of all, they value the work of translators. They simply decide to refer to us as vendors. I referred this in a previous conversation, and it's a term that I actually find wrong and offensive. And they drive down prices because when they consider us as vendors, of course, they take the value out of our work. Another issue, for example, is with payment. Some of these agencies may be very unprofessional to what payment is concerned. They may pay late or they may not pay at all, which is a very serious issue, especially when we're dealing with agencies out of the country where we live in, because they may be under a different jurisdiction and therefore it would be harder for us to act against them. So we must be aware of all these factors. For example, some agencies, and this is one of the common practices among some agencies, they may contact you for the first project and they may look wonderful. They may send you the documents for you to prepare your own quote and set your own pricing. And then in the second project, they will simply send you what they call a purchase order. Again, another term that I consider inadequate for the services of translation, because we don't have an inventory, we don't sell products. And in that purchase order, they may not only set the number of words they require translated, but also the pricing, which most of the times is ridiculously low. It can even be less than half your regular rate. It happened with me, and obviously I had to refuse those projects. So, and this is another common practice. They try to be nice in the first project to try to gain your confidence and your trust, and then on the second project they will show what they really are about, and obviously in most cases they will lose that relationship because obviously we won't accept the project. So we must be aware of the pros, the cons, and the good ones and the bad ones, and be protected against them. There is ways that we can protect ourselves from bad agencies or even from criminals impersonating legitimate translation agencies and defrauding several translators. That's unfortunately something that also happens quite a lot. And in these particular cases, a criminal impersonates a translation agency, and then the translators that will work with this criminal will give that translation agency a bad reputation because obviously they think that they are working with that agency, and this agency ends up being also a victim because their name has been used unlawfully. So we must be aware of that. And how can we be aware of that? Well, the best way to get or to research about these agencies is in blacklists and in translator forums. For example, PROS has its Blackboard, which is not a blacklist per se, but a list of agencies that are then ranked by the several translators that are members of PROS and work with them, and then go and rate the work that they done for them, how it went, how the experience went. So that's one of the most famous ones, and I believe that one that is the first resort for all translators. But then you have social media groups also about this topic, where you can go and you can ask if any of the colleagues have worked with an agency that may be contacting you, etc., etc. So I think the best way for us to protect ourselves is, before accepting work from an agency, do our research and try to ascertain if that is really a legit agency in the first place, and if it is, what about the culture, what about the practices, and if there is any colleagues actually saying something negative about it. So I guess that's our best shot. And that's all for today. I hope you like our conversation. I hope it was helpful. If you have any experience that you would like to share with us, please do leave your comments. If you have worked with an agency and you didn't have a good experience, well, let us know about it. Or if you also have worked with agency and you had an extremely good experience, also share with us, because it's also good to know that there's bad, but there's also good to know the good ones are out there as well. Share, why not? Share with your friends so we make our conversations even bigger. Subscribe and know your weekly updates every week. I hope you have a wonderful week. See you next time. Thank you so very much for watching. Bye.